I haven't made a video in weeks like this, and it's just so much to talk about. I still have my OC versus Gossip Girl series still going on. Sorry if you hear wrestling in the back because I'm watching wrestling on YouTube. I'm turn it down. I still have my OC versus Gossip Girl videos still going on. I'm gonna get back to those very very soon. Hopefully. I also want to finish my Vampire Diaries, Unpopular Opinions, and I also want to finish my Problems with Teen Dramas. And I honestly want to do more videos too as well. Like I want to do more videos about TV shows, specifically Nickelodeon. Like I want to talk more about Big Time Rush and Victorious and iCarly, things like that. I want to talk more about those shows and Disney too. Like I want to step out of the teen drama stuff and things like that. I want to do more other videos. It's just so hard because I have to write down these ideas before it all gets clamored up and cluttered in my mind about what I want to make a video about. So yeah, I want to do other videos too. There's other videos I want to do too with other teen drama shows. Like I want to talk more about One Tree Hill and everything like that. Someone brought it to my attention that I should talk about the characters one by one and explaining what makes them good characters, what makes them bad characters, what makes them like these type of characters. Like I thought that would be a good video idea too as well, but there's just so much going on. So please bear with me if I don't get to those videos very soon. Please bear with me. But the thing that I want to talk about today is WWE. Now, I know I said this before that I usually don't talk about wrestling unless I really need to, and this must be talked about. Honestly, I saw someone else do this, Paul Productions. If you guys don't subscribe to him, please subscribe to him. He makes really good wrestling content. He actually did a video called "What's Going On with Wrestling," and honestly, I thought I would do the same thing too as well, and just give my own personal opinions. What I won't be including in here is Randy Orton's injury, Cody Rhodes' injury, because they're injured. There isn't really not I hate to say there isn't much to talk about, but Randy Orton will be back into another year, and I think Cody Rhodes won't be back into like 9 months. So I mean it sucks. I won't mention their injuries. I won't be mentioning anything about AEW because I don't watch AEW unless CM Punk's on, and since he's injured, there's nothing to talk about with AEW at all. I don't watch it unless CM Punk's on TV, which he hasn't been in months. But what I am going to talk, and I'm not going to talk about Vince McMahon allegations because that is a separate video for a separate time to talk about. I cannot even get into that in this one video because there's other things that I want to talk about. But what I will be talking about is the Sasha Banks and Naomi walkout, Roman Reigns becoming a part-timer, and Seth Rollins. So let's talk about the Naomi and Sasha Banks walkout. Honestly, I really feel like Sasha Banks has been wanting to leave for a very long time. I just feel like this was probably the final straw for her, the WWE not being serious with the women's division. And honestly, I don't blame her for walking out completely. Naomi is another person too that I really feel like they're not putting their eggs in her basket enough to give her a full chance. And I understand that sometimes if you want opportunities, you have to take a stand as well. And Naomi, she's just one of those people, if you watch her on Twitter, is that she's such a good worker. She listens to her bosses. She tries not to be a prick backstage. That way she won't get TV shows. She won't get TV time. And things like that. She's not that type of person. But I really feel like that if she does come back, she needs to take a stand on whether she needs to be taken more seriously as a character. Because I really feel like WWE is not doing enough stuff to make her serious. Like I really feel like it sucks. And Sasha Banks, I am no Sasha Banks fan, to tell you the truth. Honestly, I feel like if we're getting rid of her, then that's good. That's good and bad to some extent because the less four horsewomen, the better, if you ask me. So if she does decide to leave and get released, then she's doing me a favor because I'm just sick and tired of all the four horsewomen taking up the spotlight. I really am. I'm just sick and tired of them all winning championships and having accolades, but not having storyline-driven careers. Like, there's so much more to a career than just winning championships. Look at someone like The Undertaker. Do you think people are going to look back at him as someone who just won 10 titles in his career? No, Undertaker is so much more than just a person who held 10 titles. He's an amazing character. He's an amazing storyline. He's been in amazing storylines. He's had amazing matches. He's had amazing character development throughout his years in wrestling. his debut is iconic. Like, he's been in amazing groups, Cover Ministry, the Corporation. Like, he's been in amazing groups. Like, I don't see that with the Full Horsewoman. I don't think whether whether you want to put them down as the best to go down in history. That's your business. That's your opinion. For me personally, I don't see myself ever saying that them all four of them going to go down as one of the best because they don't have storyline driven careers. They have accolade driven careers. They think just because they win titles that means they're the best. And I really feel like there's so much more than being. I think Sonia said this too. Casual Q, he said this. He's another YouTuber. He makes really good content. He said WWE is a storyline company, and I 100% agree. It's always been a storyline company. And the fact that having people come here and just win championships and not doing anything with their characters, it's fucking sad. Like, it's fucking sad. But like I said, I think Sasha Banks has been wanting to leave for a long time now. I just think this, with them not putting effort into the tag team titles or any effort at all with the women lately that I've seen, it's just probably the last straw for her, and I don't blame her for leaving. If she honestly thinks that there's other companies out there that can treat her seriously as a person, as a competitor, then she's allowed to leave. I just feel bad for her fans because they really love her. Me personally, I've never been a fan, but I feel like this is good and bad because she was someone that they did highly rely on a lot for the women's division, and I guess she was one of their top stars, so it just sucks. Sucks all around that she had to walk out of a company because they couldn't do anything to the women's division. It sucks because the women's division has potential to be there where the guys are. How many would say the males roster is there? But you get what I'm saying. So Sasha Banks leaves. That's her decision. She's a grown woman. No one can tell her she cannot quit, even if you are a fan of her. If you're a true fan of her, you would support her decision either way. So let's move on. The next one I want to talk about is Zeph freaking Rollins. I think this is no surprise to anyone that I am the biggest Zeph Rollins fan girl out there. I know there's other fan girls, but I love him the most. I love Zeph Rollins. I just hate the direction the company is putting him in. Honestly, I feel like if they're gonna keep doing this to him, then he no longer needs to be a heel. Just turn him face. And as much as it pains me to say this, why is he in the mid card? Why is he in the mid card? Why is he in the mid card putting over jobbers when he could be in the main event? Like, I know people say that he's terrible, he's not good. Me personally, I really feel like he's one of those people who has the storyline rate, he has the work rate, he has the promo rate, he has everything to be in a good storyline with someone. And WWE is making him feud with someone like Matt Riddle, who isn't even on his level, like at all. Like, they used him to put over Cody Rhodes, and where is he now? He's injured. They're using him to put over Matt Riddle. Like, I'm just sick and tired of him being used as some one night stand where WWE is running out of ideas and they use someone to help other guys elevate. Like, that's completely unfair to him. Think about all the things that have been taken away from him since he's turned heel. He was pushed to the back burner on SmackDown when he should have faced Roman Reigns earlier, if you ask me. Way before Cesaro did, if you ask me. He should have been facing him. There should never been no Cesaro and Roman Reigns feud to begin with. It should have been him and Seth Rollins. That happened, and then they drafted him to Raw, which was the worst idea ever. They should have kept him on SmackDown. They drafted him to Raw, and then he wins the ladder match for the one contenders match for WWE Championship, and then WWE decides to make it a multi-man match by adding Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley. His opportunity was taken away from him. And then he was almost out of WrestleMania, and then they won Cody Rhodes back and has Seth Rollins lose by putting Cody Rhodes over at WrestleMania, and then he not only put Cody Rhodes over WrestleMania, he puts him over 3 times at different pay-per-views. So I'm just getting sick and tired of this. And then they have him feud with Roman Reigns, and then after the feud, after that whole thing at the Royal Rumble, it's just never to ever be talked about again. Like, it's just so annoying. Or how about the fact that he, as much as I love Edge, he didn't go over Edge once at all in that feud. Like, I wanted him to go over Edge at a really big pay-per-view. He lost to Edge 3 times at 3 straight pay-per-views. if I'm not mistaken. He lost to him at SummerSlam. He lost to him at Crown Jewel. Or is that it? I think him and Edge only faced each other twice at 2 pay-per-views. I don't know. I think, yeah, it was just at SummerSlam and Crown Jewel, him and Edge faced each other. And, I mean, yeah, he won on SmackDown, but, like, I wanted him to go over on a big pay-per-view. But it's not... Honestly, I want to see more from him and Edge than going to Raw. But I'm just sick and tired of this with Seth Rollins. This is just so annoying. Like, he hasn't been champion since 2019, and it's like WWE is just not having any faith in him. Like, I honestly feel like when he got injured in 2015, WWE has just not... I honestly, no, take that back. No, not since he got injured, because there has been good times in his career. Let me take that back. I just don't understand right now that he is literally the only thing on Raw that's, like, worth watching. And they're treating him like he's some stupid mid-carder. Like, it just sucks. Like, he isn't just a mid-carder. And I understand that Seth Rollins has always been the guy he could put other people over, he can help them. But I'm just tired of this. I love Seth Rollins. Hopefully down the road WWE decides that it's time to book him more seriously and put him in the top main event. Because I want to see him as champion again. So let's move on. The last topic I'm going to talk about is Roman Reigns becoming a part-timer. WWE fucked up with this. They really did. I love Roman Reigns too, just as much as any other girl that's a fan of his. I love him too, but I understand he has kids. He has a family. I understand that. And he wants to spend more time with his family. His kids are growing up and he wants to be around more. I completely understand. But what I don't understand is why WWE decided to give him a contract that makes him a part-timer. In my personal opinion, if he's going to become a part-timer, then he shouldn't be champion. And I don't really want to say, what are you talking about? I just honestly feel that way because think about how Brock Lesnar was the Universal Champion. He was barely on Raw. He was barely on any of the pay-per-views. They had to rely on other people for shows. Like, I honestly feel like your top guy should be there every single day. I hate to say every single day, like they can't have days off, but they should be there every single day. Roman Reigns is not going to be a part of any main shows or any main pay-per-views at all until WWE needs him. Like I just said, I understand that he's a father and he's also a husband. And that's very important. Those things are very valuable. You don't want to ruin those things at all in life. You don't want to make your wife resent you or make your kids resent you for not being around. But I honestly feel like if his goal was to win both the titles, why hasn't he been on TV at all? I knew something was wrong when he wouldn't show to Raw at all as the WWE champion. He would only show to SmackDown, which I also think is very stupid. The fact that he does not show up to Raw at all, which he should, and the fact that they're relying on the Usos to make things entertaining. And no offense, I love the Usos too, but they're not Roman Reigns. To put it simple as that, they're not Roman Reigns. I want to see Roman. I don't mind the Usos, but they don't cut promos like him. Their appearance isn't like him, and it doesn't feel right. I just don't understand why WWE is doing this. I feel like WWE is constantly contradicting themselves and just setting themselves up for failure every single time. So I don't know what's going to happen at SummerSlam, but if WWE decides to have Roman Reigns drop the titles through an Austin Theory cash-in, then you have really fucked up because you could have gone different ways with that. Austin Theory is nowhere in hell deserves to be fucking double champion at fucking all. Nothing. He hasn't done anything to prove himself to be a fucking champion. If you want to put on somebody, I don't even think Brock Lesnar is a good choice either because he's also a part-timer. He shows up when he wants. And I feel like that's just not fair to other people who come to work every single day and they get to have days off when they want. I hate to say that because I understand they're both fathers and they're both husbands. I hate to say that. But I feel like Roman Reigns is the guy. He's the guy right now. He's the only guy right now that they're putting all their eggs into. And this is what I'm talking about with WWE not putting their eggs into other people's baskets. If you want to keep him as a part-timer and keep him at home with his family, then you need to build up somebody else to win the championships, and that's just how it should be. I hate to say that, but that's just how it should be.